September has not been my month so far. No, it's my month because while I was going through what I was going through, I found clarity. But yeah, anyways, last 2 weeks was a little bit of hell for me. So I'll confidently come on here and tell you that I have been through hell and back. And I'm standing strong to talk about it. I'm standing strong. I'm here to talk about the hell that I have been through. What I learned, because like I said, I found clarity in my hell. I know a lot of us grew up to know heaven and hell to be a place you go to when you die. So when you commit a whole lot of atrocity here on earth and you, for your punishment, you go to where? Hell. But when you're a good boy, when you're a good girl, and what's for your reward? Can I get a heaven? That is what a lot of us grew up to understand heaven and hell to be. A place you go to when you die. Now that is one of the biggest lies and illusion that has been taught to us, especially the religious people. If you grew up religious, that is the only way you will know heaven and hell to be a place you go to when you die, right? Because if you did not, you would not know that heaven and hell is a place you go to. Only religious people knows that heaven and hell is a place you go to. It's a place. But yeah, like I said, it's the biggest lie ever, because heaven and hell is something that is happening right here on earth. You don't need to die to experience hell or heaven. It is state of consciousness. Now, I'm not going to be going deep into it because I've talked about it here on my channel a lot. I've had videos where I talked about heaven and hell. Even though my videos were not in depth, there are many videos available. There are books, there are teachings that will open up your mind. Once you get to the point where you start realizing that religion was just a systematic or an organized form of worship that was created to control the minds of the masses, that was something they fabricated in their, while they were trying to create their organized form of worship. They created these lies to be able to manipulate and control the minds of the masses so that they live in fear. So they say heaven and hell. They created heaven and hell as a place, you go to, so that good people will know that they go to heaven and act good so that they can get to heaven. Why bad people, we know that hell is what is waiting for them. But anyways, heaven and hell is a state of consciousness. Okay, people are experiencing heaven here on earth and people are experiencing hell here on earth, depending on the one you create for yourself, because you are the generator, the operator, and the destroyer, which is God. God. You are the one creating your experiences. So whichever it is that you create for yourself is what you're going to be experiencing for eternity. Okay, yeah. State of consciousness, heaven and hell, it is not a place. If you still believe that it is a place, I am sorry. Okay, I know a lot of people are about to type right now in my comment section to say, what the fuck is, you don't know what you're saying, you're going to hell. Please, no problem, it's my hell, let me go. But yeah, it's not a place you go to, it's a state of consciousness. It's the state of the mind. And too bad that 90% of human beings right now are experiencing hell because of how their mind have been enslaved. The enslavement of the mind is the hell that has been created for them, because so many informations have been withheld from them, and they do not know that they are the one creating this hell for themselves, and they keep going in circles and in circles and in circles. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Let me talk about my clarity. Okay, the clarity I found while I was on my sick bed. Experiencing hell. Anyways, I was sick for a week, but then it started last 2 weeks. So it started like a week before I started treating. And while I felt sick, anyways, I've not been sick for 2 years now. The last time I was sick was around the same time, September, last 2 years. In fact, when I went to the hospital to treat, the receptionist, the person taking my details, the guy was like, he was the same person that attended to me last 2 years, same time. Coincidence? No. I do not believe in coincidence. I do not believe in coincidence. So I believe everything happens for a reason. Last 2 years, my body needed to rest, and I wasn't giving it rest until it told me rest, and then I took the rest. I had to go to the hospital. This year too, the same thing happened. Now, after the sickness last 2 years, I started working towards doing the things that I'm meant to do so that I don't fall sick. So I started eating better, eating healthier, working out, sleeping when I'm meant to sleep, making sure I rest. But then last 2 weeks, I fell out of routine because I was working towards a particular video and I wanted to make that particular video public on my first channel. So I overworked myself. I did not sleep. And I think I did not eat well. I don't know what happened, but I felt sick. And while it was coming, I tried to hold it by, I started eating, well, trying to sleep, trying to take herbal teas, to make sure that the body do not fall sick. But yeah, it was too late. Otilo, it was already in progress. And I had to face the consequences of my action. Anyways, as soon as my physical body fell sick, and I started treating, which was last week, and now I was forced to rest. Some people will take that moment to be like the universe is against them, like God is against them, and they'll start praying and crying and asking God for quick recovery or quick health or quick whatever, praying and stuff. I did none of these things. I did neither, okay, because as soon as I felt sick, I knew what was wrong. I knew that I fell out of routine. I knew that I did something I was not meant to do. Now, prioritizing your work or other things instead of your body or your health will cause that particular consequence. That's cause and effect. You don't have effect unless there's a cause. So I knew that was the consequences of my action. There was no need for me to pray. There was no need for me to, I don't even pray anymore because prayer is something again that has been taught wrongly to us. Okay, you don't need to go down on your knees to pray. You don't need to, the conversation or the intentions or your thoughts that you're having in your mind, that is prayer. You're constantly praying, in case you don't know. So yeah, I don't pray anymore. I don't do the prayer that we have been taught to be doing in religious way. I don't do that no more. So I didn't do none of that. I didn't do, God, I need quick recovery. No, I didn't do none of that. I didn't even cry. I just knew that what I needed to do now, the effect is to just treat. And I went for treatment. Now, while I was being treated and I was forced to rest because the treatment was making me very drowsy, very dizzy, very weak. And now I had to really, really rest. I started thinking about life in general. Okay, because now I had time, so I started thinking about life. This is me, Vivian, 32 or let's say 31 years old girl lying on the bed. I started asking myself, how has life been so far? Is there anything that you were meant to have done, or is there any accomplishment that you have meant to accomplish and you haven't? And at the age of 31, I started having that conversation with myself, and at that point I got clarity in life. That is why I said, see, you see this sickness, every time that you fall sick, it is a call that you need to pay attention to. You need to pay attention to why you are falling sick, because most of the times there is something that wants you to hear it out. And for me, that's the clarity that we're about to talk about. While I was on the bed and I was having this conversation with myself, I realized that there was nothing that I have been given birth to do that I haven't done. I didn't put that thing well. There is no accomplishment. There is no goal. There is nothing that I am meant to do that I have not done. Do you know how I know that? Because The identity I have right now was given to me. I came to Africa. They gave birth to me in Nigeria. They told me I'm black. They told me I'm female. They told me that this is my name. This is my father. This is my mother. My mother told me that this is my religion. And this is who I should worship, or this is who I should, worship, serve. And everything that I have been doing from that moment to the point where I started having my awakening was taught to me. I didn't have any chance to choose what I wanted to do until this point. I was told that I needed to go to school to get work. I did that. I didn't get work. I was told I needed to be a good woman to get a husband. I did that. I didn't get a husband. Not that I'm looking for a husband right now. I'm just telling you, these are the accomplishments that society has told me to accomplish. And I did those things and I did not get it. You know why? Because those things are illusions. Now, the accomplishment that I have placed on myself to accomplish, I have been able to accomplish all of them even before 31, which is breathe, be alive, and enjoy life. I've been doing that. I've been breathing. I've been breathing. I've been living my life and I've been enjoying life. Living away the identity that has been placed on me. Now imagine I came into life and I came from India. All the identity that has been given to me by my parents here in Africa wouldn't be the same identity that they give to me there in India. Let's move this to Arab. Let's move this to US or the European. Let's move this. Now, let's move this around the whole continent. Every identity that has been given to each and every one of us was given to us by what? Our parents and by society. And we did not have choice in choosing what we wanted to do. And everything that we think that we need to accomplish before a certain age is an illusion. You see the way you are putting pressure on yourself to get this thing, to have this thing, to buy this thing, to, those things are illusions. If you have time to sit with yourself and ask yourself, what do you want out of life? Are you going to still choose these things that has been forced on you, subconsciously forced on you? Like if you were properly given the opportunity, they say, oh, Stephanie, forget all these things that have been told or taught to you. Forget the fact that they said at the age of 25, you need to have a husband and you need to have children. Forget the fact that they said at the age of 28, you need to have a job or have a car. Stephanie, forget the fact that they say at the age of 30, you should have your company or have your house. Now, what do you want out of life, Stephanie? Imagine you have all these things already in abundance. What else do you want out of life? What are you going to choose, Stephanie? What are you going to choose, goodness? What are you going to choose, Amaka? I'm running out of names. Jennifer. What are you going to choose? So while I was on my sickbed, I was asking myself, is there anything? And I realized there is nothing. There is nothing that I am meant to be doing or that I am meant to have done that I have not done. The one that has been forced on me by society, it did not work because it was an illusion and it was not the path that was meant for me. And while I have gotten my awakening and I have gotten the opportunity, because guess what, honey, this is your life, okay? You have the choice. It is your choice to choose what you want out of life. Nobody is meant to choose what you want out of life. You have the choice. It is your life. So you have the power, you have the choice, you have the responsibility to choose what you want out of life. In fact, if you decide not to even have the choice to choose, you don't choose. You just be, live, enjoy. But then you have been given the choice to choose. What are you going to choose? That was the clarity I got on my sickbed. Forget my identity, forget the religion aspects, or forget the fact that, this is what your parents have said you should worship or who you should serve. Forget all those things. What do you want? And I realized that everything that I want is what I have right now. I want to be Vivian. I want to be Vivian that is able to travel around the world and understand other people's culture, understand how people live live the life that they live, understand the way they understand life, because that's something I want to do. I want to be Vivian that is able to pass knowledge from, if I learn something, be it in my passion of profession, which is fashion designing, or in just normal general knowledge. I want to be able to understand these things and be able to pass it down to, the next generation. I want to be Vivian that is able to wake up one morning and say, this is what I want to do, and I'm able to do it without nobody telling me that you cannot do this thing. I want to be somebody that is able to freely express myself and nobody stops me from expressing myself. I want to be, and guess what? I am that person right now because I'm able to express myself. I'm not able to travel yet because we're working towards that. But then I'm able to do this every other thing that I want to do, and there is no pressure. I don't see any pressure. There is no responsibility or there is no expectation, because I have decided to ignore every expectation from external source and focus on only the expectation that myself have created, which is nothing. I put no expectation on myself. When I do something I fail, I tap myself and say, try again. When I do something and I, excel at it, and I'm like, oh baby, I celebrate myself. And most of the time when I fail, I still celebrate myself for even trying. So I've gotten to the point in life where the clarity is 100%, and it became very, very clear while I was sick, because while I was sick, I asked myself, why are you sick? Why are you back to this particular cycle? Because I told myself last 2 years that I was not going to fall sick anymore. I was going to work towards, eating healthier, doing the things that I am meant to do so that I don't fall sick. But then I fell out of routine. So yeah, while I was on the sick bed, I told myself, why did you fall back into the cycle? And I realized that at one point again, I started allowing these external noises to come into my head. So the no money, and I wanted to just start working hard again, and I fell out of routine, and it affected my health. And now I am back to asking myself these questions and taking a step backwards, to realizing that there is nothing that needs to be done that hasn't been done. I don't need to do anything. I am a child of abundance. Now, working too hard is me telling my Father that is abundant that he does not have enough, because this life is the life that has been created by the source, which is God. He or she, I prefer to use she, but because I was groomed in a religious home, I'm only saying he, because they brainwash us to believe that God is a he, Father, which is another big lie. God is genderless, is the source, is an energy. So she is abundance. Now, me working too hard to provide for myself is me telling her that she's not enough, she does not have enough, or she's not providing for me enough. And what does that mean? It means that I am limiting the God in my life. Me crying over not having some certain things, or me trying to force myself into having some certain things, because I'm always like, why is my own always delay? Why am I always the last to have this thing? Why am I? It's me saying that the God in my life, she is always she's limited. She does not know what she's doing. That is me working against my energy. That is me working against the source. It became very clear to me that what we are here to do in life is just to experience life. We're not here to do anything much. Now, when you decide to use your passion to earn some money, that should be a plus, because you are like a child of abundance. Everything that you need will come to you even without you working. And this is no joke. Now, a lot of people watch this video and be like, what she's saying is trash. Do you know why it is trash? It's because of the belief that you have that you need to work to have money. That is why you are working to have money. And you cannot just wake up one day and say, okay, I'm not going to work. And you think you start having money. No, that belief has been placed on your subconscious mind. 90% of the people living have that at the back of their subconscious mind, because that is the programming that we have all gone through. You see, this system created for us to go through education, this educational system created for us to go through, where we compete and we go to learn, so that we can be able to work to survive. That is a programming that was done to the mind, and it was done to the mind at the early stage where the mind was empty. Now, reprogramming that particular mindset is going to take time, it's going to take work, but that is the programming that has been done. So you see, this belief has been depth or dogged, or it has been attached to the subconscious mind, and it is deep. That is why you see us working to get money, where we were meant not to work, because we are we are children of abundance. You see, everything here on earth is our own doing, is our own creation, because the source created these things and made it available for each and every one of us to enjoy. But because of the mind has already been enslaved, the mind has already been brainwashed, that is why me and you are sewing our hands to be able to survive. But this is not how life is meant to be. Until we get ourselves to the point where we start to believe deeply, not just pretending, not just the actormost or conscious belief. We need to subconsciously believe that we are children of abundance, and whatever it is that we want, we already have. Whatever it is that we desire is already ours. Until we get ourselves to that point where our subconscious mind believes this fact, money will not come to us. Instead, we'll be chasing money. I don't need to work. I don't need to do shit. I am not too late to nothing. Like I said, I'm 31. I do not have a husband. I don't even want to have a husband, because I feel like at the point where I am right now, I am still learning a lot about life. And I'm not even in the point where I am meant to have a husband or have children, because what am I about to teach a child when I am here to understand what is happening in this world? I know a lot of people go into marriages and start bearing children without even knowing what's up with what is really happening in life. A lot of people already are programmed, so they go into this thing with their program mindset and they expect to get a better result out of it. You are not going to get a better result out of it, because your mind has been enslaved. Your mind has been placed in a point where it is not growing, and whatever it is you're passing down to your children was the same thing that was passed down to you. And it's not like you're going to do anything better until you wake up and realize that this is what is happening. But until that point, if you don't wake up, you're going to pass the same teachings that was passed to you. You're going to pass that to your children, and your children are going to pass that down to their children, and the cycle is going to continue. But yeah, like I'm saying, I'm a 31 years old girl that I don't have these things, and I am not complaining. You know why? Because I am not meant to have them. I am not meant to have them when I don't even know what is happening in the world I have come into. A world where I don't want to say disconnected, but that's the word. I've been disconnected from my roots. They tell me that my ancestors are demons. I am going to be an ancestor one day. So does that make me a demon? I am going to leave this world, and my family, or let me say my sister's children, are they going to see me as a demon? So I've been disconnected from my roots. I have been disconnected from nature. I've been disconnected from so many things. I have been brainwashed. At this point of my life, I have 100% clarity that these things are illusions. These things are illusions that have been created to fuel and waste my time here on earth. Why they are trying to really, really disconnect me from my soul. Why they are trying to really, really take away the number one thing that I have. The number one thing that they know that they cannot take away once I start paying attention to it, which is my energy. They know that as soon as I realize that my energy is what is really important in this particular reality, I will stop chasing these things, and which is something I have realized. I know now that my energy is the number one important thing in this life, that having these other things are things that they just want to use to like waste my time, things they want to use to suck away my energy, things they want to use to, keep me busy. Why they secretly take away the most important thing that I have, which is my energy, which is my spirit, my soul. On my sick bed, I had so much clarity, and with that clarity came happiness and joy. Like the joy in my soul was is unexplainable. The joy I felt while I was sick, the joy I felt before the sickness, I used to feel like, what will my future be like? I used to be like, oh, what will my future be like? I hope my future will be bright. But now I know my future will be bright. With the clarity I got while I was on my sick bed, I don't think about what my future is going to be like. I know what it's going to be like. I know how bright it's going to be. I know how fantabulous my future is going to be. Like, at this point, I have no worries. I have no worries. I am not late in life. There is nothing that I want that I don't have right now. I am not... what are these words? The words are missing from my mouth right now, but I feel complete. And this is something that I have been chasing for the longest time. You see this feeling of feeling complete or feeling enough? It's something that I have been chasing for the longest time. But now I have it. Like, I feel so complete that I feel like I just need to cross my leg and watch everything unfold. That's what I feel like. I just need to cross my leg and watch my life miraculously, magically unfold to the eyes of people watching, because for me, I already know what is happening. And everything I have said here, you can use it to check your life. I'm not saying check as a competition, but I'm saying ask yourself, the decisions you're making right now, what is that one thing that is driving it? I hope it is not an external voice. Because honey, you see everything that we are living through in this life, everything, every single thing is an illusion. You are enough. You are complete. You are fulfilled because you are God. And when I mean you are God, I mean you are God. How do you not know that you are God? They tell you that God is everywhere. Then what are you? Are you not the everywhere? They tell you that God is in everything. What are you? Are you not part of the everything? So how come they were able to make you feel like you are not complete? Because saying that you are not complete is saying that God isn't complete, because there is nothing that God is in that isn't complete. Everywhere that God exists is whole. There is nothing missing from where God is. There is no single thing missing from where God is. So telling me that there is something missing in your life right now, telling me that you're late, you are behind, is saying that God is behind. It's saying that God is late. God can never be late. How are they making you feel like God can be late? God can never be late. There is nothing happening right now that is not meant to happen. How come you're not seeing this? There is nothing that you're meant to have that you're not going to have. How come you're not understanding this? You don't need to sell your soul. You don't need to sell your time. You don't need to sell your body. You don't need to sell nothing to have anything. You already possesses it. See, the only one person that is blocking it is you, because you have the mindset that you are not complete and you're blocking it. All you need to do is open up your heart and realize that you are complete, that you have it, you are abundant, and you do not have lack. You are the one stopping it from manifesting. You are the one stopping your desired reality or whatever it is that you want to possess to come to life, because you have the mindset that you do not have it. Once you're able to open up your mind to realize that you do have it, it is already there. God is never limited in any vessel, in anything. God is always full. How come you're not seeing it? Stop pressuring yourself. Stop giving yourself depression and anxiety. Stop crying yourself to bed. Stop doing this to yourself, because what you're doing is creating more illusion for yourself. You're creating more illusion and illusion and illusion for yourself. Free yourself from those thinking. It is only a mental slavery. Free yourself from it, because you see what is happening here physically? You see what is happening here physically is being controlled by your mental thinking. Once you're able to free yourself mentally, you're going to start seeing it physically. You are enough. You are complete. You are abundant. You have everything that you want. You have everything that you desire. Are you not breathing this air? Are you not? That was the clarity. I had more clarity, okay, but this video is just going to be too long if I continue saying this. I had more clarity. Right now, as I'm talking to you, I am still on medication. I have my medicine here. I'm going to be taking it after the video. I had so much clarity, but this is like the first one I wanted to share. This one, especially for those that are in their 30s or above, or like their late 20s, that feel like they are lacking behind, or they, there are some certain things they are supposed to have been accomplished, based on the calendar of the society. I'm here to tell you that those things are illusions. It is not real. Trust me, it isn't. There is so much freedom from letting yourself go from those calendars. There is so much freedom from letting yourself go from those responsibilities and expectations. There is so much freedom. See, you're going to grow backwards. You're going to age backwards. Because everything that is making you depressed right now, everything that is making you cry yourself to bed, everything that is making you age, you're 25 looking 50, that's too much. But you see, everything that is making you feel the way you're feeling right now, which is not so good about yourself, is an illusion, and you need to drop it. You need to free yourself from it, okay? I love you guys. It feels good to be back on my feet, okay? And I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye.